All right, guys. So we are here, and man, this feels so cheesy, bro. Cause I just watched this movie a couple months ago, The Pretty Woman. I went to this hotel a week and a half ago, and I didn't even know it was the same hotel. Then when I was like, okay, I want to do an interview again, with my girl Devina, because the hotel's so classy, it's so like upscale vibes,
Definitely my vibe.
classic,
Definitely my
classic,
vibe.
classic Hollywood. And then I googled it on YouTube and on Google, right? And it was like, oh, this is the hotel from the movie Pretty Woman. I was like, oh, that's okay, that's cool, right?
Definitely a classic, iconic movie. If you guys have never seen it, I really don't know what to tell you, but we had a drink today called The Pretty Woman based on the
Yeah.
movie, which is even more iconic.
I was like, ain't that a bitch? That's so funny, man. And like in the movie, she was crying. She was like, oh my god, like these people are rejecting me from these stores in Rodeo Drive. And I was like, yo, like, I was like, oh, it's that close. Like the stores are literally right here. Like the Versace store is like literally over here, right? So, anyways,
Iconic Rodeo Drive, right,
yep,
right,
iconic.
right over there.
It's kind of just like embodying this like Beverly Hills life. Like if you look at any '90s movie and then look at this girl's Instagram, you could be like, oh, well, she could be in that movie. Like either the lead, if she's not an actress, like an extra, like somebody that just will belong on that set, right? So her name is Devina. Yeah, just introduce yourself, Devina. What do you do? Like, what's it about?
Hi guys. So my name is Devina Serpentine. I am a luxury event producer. I specialize in public relations and I specialize specifically in helping my clients gain more exposure, not only online but also in real life. So one of my favorite things is taking people's brands and helping them blow the heck up, specifically by helping them present themselves to the world in a way that is so captivating, mesmerizing, and just different. And so I take people's brands, and Jorge does this as well with his videography and his photography. And we just elevate people's brands in such a way where it helps my clients really be seen as superstars.
There's a lot of people that I mean, you too, right? Because you have a very very big profile. You'll get a lot of DMs would be like, oh, we'll help you buy like 50,000 followers, this and that. Some account from a guy in Bangladesh, right? Some weirdo, no profile picture. And they'll be like, yeah, we'll make you famous. Like, we'll give you this.
Only work with verified people, verified influencers, verified accounts. So if you guys want to blow your accounts up, don't respond to any of those weird DMs because I get them all the time. Make sure it's a true and trusted source. A lot of the people that I work with people that I actually know in real life. So that's how it kind of like happens, especially with like my business. It's very word of mouth, and I have to make sure that I know that it's a true and tried thing. So anything that is coming from me, like my services, I've made sure fully because I'm very, very skeptical. I don't trust people online. Even when they've like hit me up and like they've booked a session with me, I'm like, okay, is this like some catfish person? Do they really want my services? So I'm very, very picky about that.
I'm very cautious, like just a healthy amount of skepticism. From working with Davina and seeing some of the people that she's worked with, separating, comparing, contrasting, right, to even some people that hear that they could say that they do like PR, like, hey, we're gonna help become famous. It's like I've seen the examples, right? Like you were on the Hollywood Reporter, you had a couple cover stories already. You're always on the red carpets. Hey, didn't you meet Paris a couple months ago?
Oh my God, my girl! I loved Paris Hilton since I was a baby. Like her and Nicole Richie's show, and just like it's funny because she's a really cool person. Like a lot of her misperceptions from like the TV world, which I think a lot of celebrities go through this, especially people that are actresses and actors. You see them in this light and it's just a character, but like who she really is such a sweet, sweet soul, down to earth. She's helped so many people who she's raised millions of dollars for people that went through the fire issue out in LA with the Palisade fires. And yeah, we went to her luncheon at the Beverly Hilton, I think it was like a month or so ago. Such an amazing time. I met some amazing people there, and I took a handful of my clients. We had like a nice little table. It was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, like and about Paris. I mean, I've never been super into like reality TV. Even when Jersey Shore was hot, because I used to live in Florida. Like I wasn't like watching like that. But it really went in depth when Paris came out with her documentary and everything. I was like, oh, this lady's like, she's very, very smart. Like, not only is she smart with branding, but she's been very smart at not fizzling out, because a lot of musicians, reality stars, whatever, like
They fizz out.
become famous for like less than 5 years, and like somehow Paris is like, now she's a DJ, like she got an album out. Hey, that album was pretty good though.
She's gotten even more, I think, popular, and I respect her so much too, because she's also a mom, just like me, and she's also somebody that like really likes to help people. Like, I don't just like say I like to help people. I don't like to just do it for the money. For me, it's like I'm a high value woman, an individual, but like I also genuinely love seeing people transform their lives, and that's something that me and her have in common. So after seeing how much she's like really helped children, even like with the laws, she's passed laws to literally protect kids, and to me that's priceless.
Yeah, a lot of similarities. Like I do like, I mean, apart from social media, like you can also, people have been known right in Hollywood. Like a lot of it is fabricated scandals. Like, but apart from that, you met Paris. Like you're around those people. When I met you, we were working together at the United Nations event, and I met Toy. Like just certain individuals, I was like, okay, I got the big profile too, but also, we're making moves, and everybody seems to like genuinely listen to you, like respect you. We did that yacht event in Newport. So great, like the sushi was so great. But we were raising money for a women's foundation, right?
Yeah, so we had a charity event in Newport. I did a Christmas charity event to help some charities out that were, looking to just raise more awareness, brand awareness, more than anything. It wasn't like an obligation for people to donate, but it was more to really raise the awareness of this charity. And that's what I do. I take people's brands and I really help elevate them. I really help their image be seen in a more, I'd say like, I don't want to say like a higher way, but like I help people be seen as true stars, the stars that they are, because everyone has a star inside of them. Everyone has something special. And what I really love to do is just take you and help you be even more elevated in the public eye. Of course, most of my clients are very talented, whether they're lawyers, doctors, actresses, models, real estate agents, investors. It doesn't matter what the brand is. In the restaurant industry, we work with 5-star restaurants. We have really good, relationships with big restaurants, and it's about those relationships, really building those long-term relationships that help, all elevate each other.
No, that's for sure. Because I'm friends with some of her clients, right? And like over the past few months, after I've known that they work with Devina, like I look at their profile and I'm like, damn, like what the fuck? Like, they're 100K now, like followers, and they were from like very, very small. So for that, I'm gonna backtrack, right? So when somebody wants to work with, what are some of the things that you look for?
Yes. So I'm big on qualifying. So I don't like to just work with anyone, and I'm not saying that at all in a pretentious way, because for me, the qualifying aspect is so important to make sure that we're both really, really aligned to work together. So, just having this desire to invest in yourself and to also take your brand to a bigger light, to a bigger spotlight. Like if you have a dream and you have big goals and you're somebody that's like, I know that I'm meant to be seen by more people. I know that I'm meant to make more money. I know that I'm meant to work with bigger clients, high net worth clients, celebrity clients. I'm meant to be seen in this light that just radiates. Then I know, okay, there's alignment here. And it doesn't matter if you have like 200 followers. We can work together as long as you have the mind of an investor and you're somebody that's like, okay, I know that I'm worthy of this. And so that's kind of one of my biggest qualifications. Mindset.
Yeah, and what are some of the things that you warn people about? You're like, okay, look, if you're going to take on this and you get into this process where your brand becomes much, much bigger, like this is what's going to come to. Because
responsibility. It is not easy to be an entrepreneur or to be in the spotlight or to make more money or to have a bigger, more noticeable brand, because it does mean more responsibility. So if you can take on more responsibility, if you can take on more pressure, and you're somebody that is okay with that, then I think there's some alignment there.
that sounds super, super solid. All right, now let's for the people that want to be a little bit more low key, right? Because not everybody wants to blow their brand up. A guy wants to, invest into this business, or maybe they're not even there yet. A little bit into debt, right? They don't know where they're going. You also work with finance. You work with private money.
Yes. So this is one of my favorite realms, the money world. And so I'm able to help people who need the funding for their businesses get 0% interest funding, which is a really big deal because a lot of people, like, they understand in order to scale their business, in order to get past the building stage and go to the scale stage, they have to get more money in their business so they can hire a team, so they can do the marketing, they can hire like a digital marketing company or just get people helping them with sales or whatever. And that takes money. It takes money to make money. So I help people get funded with 0% interest. I help people repair their credit. And I also help people get funded for real estate projects if they're investors. So there's the business side and there's the real estate side, and we do both. If you have the desire to buy a new house or to do a fix and flip and make money off of it, we have opportunities for you.
And was this a thing you just kind of fell into it, or you were like, hey, I want to work initially with real estate, and then you were like, oh, well, I'm also doing PR and I want to help blow people's brands up?
This is going to be the fun part. So since I was probably in high school, I was obsessed with real estate. Actually, before I got into all this other stuff, I was absolutely just obsessed with real estate. And Grant Cardone was one of my first mentors. And I have such respect for him and his wife, Elena. They're such a power couple. But never mind on that. I always had this mindset of okay, in order for me to get to where I want to go, I need to be around the right people. I need to be in big rooms with people that are inspiring to me. And so I had a lot of people that I looked up to that were, at a certain level. And with real estate, I just was obsessed with it, but I knew I didn't want to be an agent. So I am not a real estate agent. I have great relationships with agents, but I'm not an agent, and I never wanted to be an agent. And so I became more of a real estate investor. I got tapped in with the right circle of people, as time went by, and I made really good friends with people in finance. I learned finance. I did mentorship with people in finance. And just being a business owner, you have to be versatile. You have to learn new things. If you want to succeed, you have to get with the program. And there's a lot to learn, but with the right people and just taking your time and not feeling like you have to know everything overnight.
So I'm assuming that you got into the credit repair. Probably were some potential clients that were like, hey, I want to do this, but my credit fucked up.
Yes. So we've had clients that were like, shit, I need the funding, but I have terrible credit. It's under 600 or it's 650. It's not where I really want it to be. And it doesn't have to be even 650 or 600. It might even be 500s or lower. And the cool part is that once we repair the credit, then you can qualify for the funding. So there's ways around it, just like with taxes. That's the thing. There's always little loopholes and ways. Mm-hmm.
And then, we're talking about mentors a lot. What were some of your favorite mentors that you're like, yo, obviously Grant Cardone. I just read his book too, so it's hearing you, and even reading from your articles, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of see some of the similarities because I bought one of Grant's programs, and
I saw you at the event. I remember.
And I saw him speak at the 10X California, and I read
10X Lifestyle.
And I read his books, and I was like, okay, when somebody's kind of gone through similar mentorship or something, you kind of pick up on it. I was like, okay, now that you're saying, hey, I was mentored Grant, and then I learned about this and this about real estate. I was like, okay, I kind of see it.
Yes. Okay, so in the real estate world and mindset, he was one of my favorite masculine approaches, but I've had a lot of feminine teachers. So Ann Keeney was my number one sales coach. I paid her in full. I found her on a podcast, and I was absolutely obsessed. This was over 4 years ago. And she doesn't have a huge following, but her presence on her podcast just hit. When I would listen to it, I was like, I need to work with this girl. So I invested into her. I took my credit card, and I was like, take my money because I need to be a beast like you are. And so she showed me very, very good sales methods that I think everyone should learn, because if you're a business owner or you have products or services, sales is key. I did learn some business techniques from some other amazing coaches as well, women and men, because I feel like you need to have that more feminine approach and the masculine. You need kind of both. So I like working with women and men. And some of my favorite law of attraction coaches, Abraham Hicks is one of them, Neville Goddard. They're more like the reprogramming your subconscious mind type of coaches. They teach you like how to really believe in your goals and yourself and your dreams and how to achieve it. So I've manifested a lot of things through the law of attraction. And that's another thing that I feel like people don't know about too much, but it's real and it works.
No, yeah, because when we're talking about like obviously I like Grant because when I read his book, he's like, you need to be very assertive and very aggressive with what you want. Same thing with my mentor, personal mentor, Michael Sartain. Like he'll yell when we're on calls together, he'll yell at me, and then like I'll kind of be like for a second, I'll be like, man, why'd you say that? And I'll be like, all right, let me just execute. And because
that's how you know why you hired him.
Yeah,
you're like, hey, this is why I hired you.
It's proven. He has the proof to everything that he's done. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna just listen and do it. And then one of my favorite stories was, I don't know if you know about Jay Waller, right? Big guy from Louisiana. I don't think he does coaching, but he's also big in construction, real estate, mostly in Florida and Louisiana. And he had this story where he says like, my best employee is this girl named Rosa, because she goes down to the construction sites and like she tells like the construction workers who are tough men that are dealing with steel, like she tells them in a very nice manner like, hey, like we need you guys to adjust in this way, or like this is what's going to happen. They tend to listen. So when we're talking about like, hey, it's good to learn from both perspectives.
It's a hard world with coaching people too, because sometimes our emotions and our feelings get in the way, but the coach wants you to be the best version of you, so sometimes they have to be a little harsh,
Yeah, so if they're both proven to do something that works, like, it's always good to hear both sides. Like, there's a lot of women that are killing it, there's a lot of men that are killing it, and it's just like, also depending on your learning style. Okay, what is, we're talking about learning style. Like, a lot of people take mentorship courses, and sometimes they get mediocre results, and some get amazing results. Mm-hmm. So what makes you a good student? Like, you're a good listener?
I'm a great note taker and action taker, baby. That's what I'm good at. So I take those notes, and then I go straight to the action. So my biggest thing is no risk, no reward. And then I also believe, like, if you want to be at the top, you understand that the bottom is too crowded. For me, like, I like exclusivity. I like feeling special. I love being around, like, very successful people, because those are the people that I always have strived to be, and that's how I continue to grow my brand. I would always learn from the best. And when you don't see it as competition, but you see it as inspiration and motivation, that's how you know you're on the right path. So I learn by taking notes and taking action, even when I'm scared and uncomfortable.
Yeah, one of the craziest things before we close out is that what I learned is obviously networking is the very foundation of why we're in such a big building, right? Because, we're just going to go from more of a primal level. Back then is like, okay, me and you, my tribe, this tribe. There's limited amount of water, the limited amount of crops. Like, sometimes, okay, now there's not much water. We got more people. Now people are competing for food, for water, right? And collaboration, right? When two people are like, okay, let's not like annihilate each other. Let's collaborate. Then that development is what has made us as human beings like much more progressive, and it has given us that ability to build a pretty building like this one, like the Beverly Wilshire. Because some people were like, hey, let's put these differences aside and like let's make bigger and bigger things. So collaboration and like learning from each other is one of the cornerstones of the most successful beings. And we're talking about like species, right? Because like, man, I love this argument. I was thinking about this the other day, because people are like, oh, like people try to downplay humans, right? They're like, oh, like we need to obviously protect the animals, but they'd be like, oh, dolphins are so smart, right? I'd be like, well, the dolphins didn't build the Titanic, right? They didn't invent bicycles. So the reason that human beings are able to do the things that we do is we're able to use our brains, but not only that, is like we're able to speak to each other, communicate with each other. And then when we tie it back to communication, is like
communication is key.
If you have a strong message, you have a strong brand, you're like, hey, like I have something special that particular that stands out, then you brand yourself in a way that it's easy to understand. People know what you are successful at, what is your mission, and then being able to not just be like a little sprinkler system, like when you got the hose on a low level. You need to like turn that setting up so it spreads everywhere, right?
Everyone needs to see your message. They need to know, like, wait, who is this person? You know what I'm saying? Like, walking in the room and just having that confidence and that inner fire. And that's what he does too with men. He works with young men in their 20s to help them build their confidence, so that when they walk into a room, when they're on the red carpet, their voice is elevated, their energy, their presence is just on another level. And so I definitely, as a hypnotherapist as well, somebody that focuses on the reprogramming and the rewiring of your mind, I really teach my clients in my coaching to also, have that sense of security within themselves and that confidence as well internally, because without that confidence and that self-belief, who else is going to believe in yourself? I'm not going to believe, you're not going to walk into a room and people aren't going to just believe in you. You have to be the one that believes in yourself and goes out and gets it. So that's why I believe having the right mentorship and guidance from the right people is also really helpful.
Awesome. What's next? Because I know we have an event on the 21st, June 21st. So what you got?
Yes, so there's some collabs happening. I'm waiting to hear back from some of the partners, but we're thinking of doing a fun summer party at the end of June or moving into July possibly. Nice mega mansion out in Beverly, something really classy, and just a fun time for people to come have, a time to network. Because that's the whole thing with me. It's how do relationships and partnerships get built with networking? So I like creating elevated spaces like that, and so there's some things to look forward to. Yep.
Awesome. All right, so my name's Jorge, this is Devina, and yeah, guys, just tune in. We'll put the Instagrams right here. Everybody just tune in, and if you believe you have something very special and a message, you develop your brand to where you can just blast it out to the whole world.
Global, going global.
Yeah, just going global, and yeah, you want to be, because at the end of the day, when you think about it, like a video game is if you're at the top of your game and you have really strong conviction about what you want your message to be, you're like you would be like the level 10 to somebody that is just starting out. So, when you become kind of that spokesperson, a lot of times, especially now we talk about niches, especially with social media, when you're a leader in your niche, then, people are always going to look up to somebody. So,
we need good leaders.
Yeah, if you're a good leader, conviction, you got a tried and true method, something you've accomplished. And if you want to be a superstar, tap in with Devina. And also, if your credit fucked up, tap in with Devina. All right.
And if you need the money and the funding, we got you.
Lux Events.
Tap in with my boy.
Lux Events. And I'll take care of you image-wise, all right? And teach you how to be louder, too, because I know I love Beverly Hills, but, one of the things that I always get a little, is with, I meet a guy that's very, very successful, very and they just don't sound like they're authoritative, right? Or
he's gonna help you guys build that authority for sure.
I can help you. I can
the
help
young
you out
men
with
out
that.
there, right?
Yep, I can help you out with that. So tune in.
Let's do it. Talk soon.